Dear students, welcome back to SOEM program on information technology applications in libraries. Last classes we discussed about e-resources and the e-resource acquisition and licensing. Now we are going to discuss on the challenges and strategies for e-resource management. This is today's agenda. We'll have the introduction, challenges in e-resource management, strategies for e-resource management, and the conclusion part. The adoption of e-resources has greatly enhanced library services, with most of the users finding them convenient for quick access to information according to their choice. However, libraries and librarians face several challenges when implementing electronic resource management system ERMS and ensuring quality services. And acquiring the right resources is not a simple task. And the librarians encounter various difficulties in this process. So today's lecture, we will be giving much importance to the what are the challenges a librarian facing while managing the electronic resources. The major challenges are insufficient library funds, technical infrastructure, lack of professional skills, security, copyright issues, e-resource collections, and organizational structure. Now let us see one by one. Insufficient library funds means e-resources require electronic and ICT tools which demand significant funding. Many Indian libraries lack adequate financial resources because of the shrink in the budgets and making it difficult to strengthen their collections and to provide necessary e-resource services to its clientele. Another important challenge a library is facing is the technical infrastructure. To have an effective ERMS, that requires a proper infrastructure, including software, hardware, high-speed internet, and physical equipments. So without this, implementing electronic resource management system in libraries is become a challenge. Another important challenge is lack of professional skills. Managing e-resources requires specific skills. Many library professionals lack the necessary expertise due to the relatively low popularity of electronic resource management system. So the librarians need to initiate and organize training sessions to enhance the staff competency. Another issue is security. ERMS operates online, making it vulnerable to unauthorized access, cybercrime, and hacking. To mitigate this risk, firewalls, antivirus softwares must be implemented in libraries so that the security, especially the cyber security issue, can be solved. Copyright issues is another problem which a librarian is facing. Plagiarism and data piracy are significant concerns when uploading and downloading e-resources. Librarians must negotiate access-related issues and educate users to avoid legal complications. E-resource collection in the rapidly changing information age, keeping e-resource collection up to date is another challenge. To provide the updated information to the users with the current information sources is a challenge of a librarian. So the library should develop policies for acquiring materials that meet both current and future information needs of users. In the last point is the organizational structure. Different libraries have varying organizational structure, rules, regulations. It depends on the nature of the library, the purpose of the library, and the clientele of the library. So, which can make it difficult to provide a consistent and effective library service to its users. So, the libraries need to adapt to digital or technological changes for smoother operations in the libraries to provide the electronic resources to its users. Dear learners, now let us see what are the strategies to be adopted for effective resource. Sorry, I repeat. Learners, now let us check what are the various strategies to be adopted for the effective management of e-resources. The first strategy which you have to be adopted for the effective resource management is conduct a needs analysis study to ensure resource selection matches the user demands. Because the user study or the analysis of the needs of user is must to provide better services to its users, because the selection of e-resources must be based on the need and requirements of the users. The next is we have to assess resources during trial periods, emphasizing the content quality, platform ease of use, that means the user friendliness, and the supplier credibility. And the employee usage metrics, including those from counter compliance system, to inform acquisition and renewal choices. And we have to verify that licensing agreements explicitly state access rights, usage allowances, and copyright adherences. Utilize consortium memberships to secure cost effective licensing and resource acquisition. Deploy various access methods such as IP based authentication and federated login systems for smooth on site and off site usage. Consistently examine the usage data and solicit user input for informed decision making and enhanced resource distribution. Set up technical support infrastructure, including help desk and skilled personnel to efficiently resolve access issues. So this strategy is very important strategy for the electronic resource management. Most of the libraries are facing the difficulty of lack of technical support infrastructure, lack of help desk, and the skilled personnel. So we have to be take care of this issue, and we have to make it a strategy to have a technical support infrastructure, including skilled personnel to solve the various issues which may face during this while providing the electronic resources to our users. And provide user education through workshops, online tutorials, and promotional initiatives to encourage resource utilization. Because there are many organizations, agencies, publishers, and government organizations like Inflibnet and Delnet and other networking agencies, they are interested to provide workshops, online tutorials, and some sort of outreach activities to promote library education. So one has to be take care of all these points. Another important aspect is we should have secure perpetual access rights and partner with archival solutions like Portico or locks for preservation purpose. Here we have to secure the perpetual access rights. That means once if you got the license for a particular period to access the journals or e-resources, after the term is over, still we should have the provision or the right to access the material which you already paid for a long time. Means we should have the continuous access to the resources once you paid as a subscription or for purchasing it. So we should follow the strategy should be like that. There should be a perpetual access right and partner with archival solutions. And we should plan for vendor transitions to maintain uninterrupted resource access and apply strategic budgeting and cost benefit analysis to manage financial investments in e-resources effectively. So that is another important aspect because we are spending a lot of money, a lot of budget for purchasing or subscribing electronic resources, including e-journals and electronic databases. So we should apply the strategic budgeting where we have to be paid more money to the purchasing of electronic resources, and we should have cost benefit analysis to manage the financial investments. That means we should have the study, we should conduct a study to know the cost benefit of the e-resources while spending a lot of budget or funds for subscribing the electronic resources. If the libraries have a consortium model in which libraries are accessing electronic resources through various consortium models, so it will be a cost effective and cost efficient method so that the libraries can optimize their expenditures that they're spending for subscribing the electronic resources. So we should have an investigation about the consortium discounts to optimize the expenditures. And another strategy is one should advocate for sustainable, equitable, and efficient access to e-resources to support institutional knowledge and research objectives. So this strategy is much useful for the educational institutions and the research organizations to have a efficient access to electronic resources, that to equitable manner, and a sustainable service to support the institutional knowledge and research objectives of the organization. So, dear learners, the integration of digital resources have revolutionized library services, improving access and user convenience. That means the users can access the e-resources according to their convenience 24 into 7 manner, and digital resources which has revolutionized all the library services, and it has improved the access to resources. Otherwise, it was very difficult to access this type of resources from far distance libraries and publishers. However, managing these e-resources effectively poses various challenges, especially in libraries with budget constraints, limited technological infrastructure, etc. The major hurdles include inadequate funding, the requirement for specialized expertise, security issues that we already discussed, copyright considerations, because once you have the electronic resources, maybe it is a born digital or the documents which we digitized, we will face the copyright issues. So one has to be very much clear about the copyright and intellectual property right issues before providing to the users through electronically. So all these issues must be tackled to enhance e-resource management. So to provide better electronic services to our users, one should have a proper policies and strategies. By employing strategic selection processes, clear licensing agreements, and robust access mechanisms, libraries can optimize the usability of electronic resources. Learners. Additionally, integrating e-resources into discovery platforms, maintaining accurate metadata, and leveraging usage data ensure that e-resources remain relevant and align with user needs. Continuous support, training, and preservation strategies further contribute to the longevity and accessibility of these resources. So the libraries should have proper training and the preservation strategies and a proper support to access and to acquire the electronic resources is must. By implementing these approaches, libraries can surmount existing obstacles and boost the efficiency of their e-resource management, ultimately enhancing the user experience and supporting academic achievement. So the librarians should be ready to implement all these approaches to avoid the obstacles and to boost the efficiency of their electronic resource management system. This is the references which we used to prepare this lecture, and I would like to thank my students for your patience listening. We will be meeting with another topic. Till then, goodbye. Take care.